Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. On behalf of Harbor Access Investor Relations, we're very pleased you've joined us for our next live presentation from Boardwalktech Software Corporation. Please note you can submit questions in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Scheduled Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Andrew Duncan, CEO and Chairman of the Board of Boardwalk Software Corporation, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol BWLKF and on the TSXV under the symbol BWLK. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks very much. Very happy to be here and honored to be presenting at the Harbor Access event. So let me walk you through all about Boardwalktech, standard forward-looking statement. So who are we? So Boardwalktech is focused on unifying enterprise information. We have technology that's got 6 patents, another 6 pending, where we've built an enterprise information management system. And the problem that we solve in the enterprise is helping them to connect, manage, and understand all of their enterprise data. We currently have a very nice list of global Fortune 500 companies, including companies like Apple, EY, Meta, and Estee Lauder, just as an example. Our mission is to create a single version of the truth of all enterprise information by unifying the unstructured and structured data for intelligent information workflows that allows a company to make faster decisions and much more insightful decisions. And you're probably thinking, why is that important? Well, information over the past kind of every 2 years, information is doubling. And if you look at how long it took us for thousands of years to get to the amount of information that we have today, 90% of information and the world's information was created in the last 2 years. Think about that. 90% of the world's information was created in the last 2 years. Think about the fact that Google today manages 3.5 billion query requests every day. So what does that mean to the enterprise? What does that mean to you thinking about Boardwalktech? The problem in the enterprise is that companies have spent billions of dollars on technology trying to wrangle this data. Yet the data is coming at them so fast that they really don't have tools or a methodology to be able to unify that data, make sense of the data, unlock the value of the data, and really kind of understand what's going on with regard to the data until now. So Boardwalk has developed what's called the Boardwalk Data Management Platform. This is the first platform that's dedicated to managing both structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. So basically, any information that you as an enterprise has that's coming into your organization would go into the Boardwalk Data Management Platform. We then help you understand what's going on with that data by providing this unique patented data model that allows you to store the data, and then through different applications and tools that we have, allows you to be able to extract that data and understand what's going on. And I'm going to give you some use case examples as we go through the process. So it also gives the enterprise the ability to extract and understand from an intelligence standpoint. A lot of talk today about, AI and what's going on with all of that. We've got a little bit of a different take on that. We think the AI potential is really great, but because we're collecting all of the data and this is known, understood data, we think that the information that now is sitting on the Boardwalk Data Management Platform is significantly better to then do predictive analytics and run AI than if you were just to go out on the open internet, ask a question where 26% of the questions get answered improperly because the data is not either appropriate or secure or known. So there's a really interesting thing going on with regard to data management in the enterprise. Everybody's trying to figure out, how do I capture this data? How do I make value? How do I create value out of this data? What do I do with regard to AI? And Boardwalk is the platform that is going to get all of this figured out for these large enterprises. So our products and target markets today, all running off of the Boardwalk data management platform, is we have three core areas that we focus on. The first is what we call our enterprise digital ledger data management transformation platform. And effectively what we do is we walk into a company, they have Excel all over the place. They've spent millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on big enterprise software, yet Excel is still the big driver within the enterprise where information is being gathered and decisions are being made. We have a complete platform that allows companies to transform all of those Excel spreadsheets into an enterprise application running on our platform that allows them to make decisions faster and create a lot of value. Second product that we have is called Velocity. This is focused on the financial services and the risk management and compliance area for Excel spreadsheets within banks. I'm going to walk you through use case of that and talk about our core cornerstone customer for Velocity, which is Citibank. And then the third is we have a product called Unity Central. It's around enterprise supply chain management and visibility for documents and information. This is all three of these products are focused off of our core technology and off of how do we help companies make better decisions around the information and data flow that is coming at them. So on the enterprise digital data transformation for Excel, where again, companies have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on big, heavy technology, yet everything is still run in spreadsheets. We have a complete system that allows them to automate and transform all of that Excel into a reliable, digital environments. Companies like Broadcom, Estee Lauder, Mars, On Semiconductor, all have adopted this technology to allow them to be able to better manage all of the Excel that they have within their environment. I talked earlier about our Velocity product. This is focused on the financial services and risk management. Our core core tenant, if you will, our first big customer for this product is Citibank. The issue with Citibank, interestingly enough, is that the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency in the United States penalized them $400 million for not having some of their Microsoft Excel spreadsheets that they call end user computing environments in an appropriate environment for risk and compliance. We were landed a contract with Citibank. We're in the process of rolling out the Velocity product throughout Citibank, and every bank has literally thousands, if not tens of thousands, of these unmitigated, full of risk Excel workbooks that need to be understood, need to be better managed. And the good thing about that is that utilizing the Velocity platform off of the Boardwalk data environment, we allow you to be able to rapidly transform those spreadsheets into a compliant environment, and the process improvements that come from improving how decisions are made and faster decisions are made are much, much better utilizing our system. We interviewed a user at one of the banks, and the user said, I collect 50 spreadsheets over a week from different parts of the organization. I aggregate those spreadsheets into a larger spreadsheet. I then run macros and formulas off of that, and then I provide a report to our group controller that information ends up going on to our ledger. That used to take me 3 days. She said, with Velocity, it takes me 15 minutes. Significant value that we're providing to these banks by deploying the Velocity solution across all of these spreadsheets that they have. The third area where we're focused, again, off of the core technology of the Boardwalk data platform, is as we were working on solving the problem for Excel within large enterprises, we also looked at the fact that there's a lot of documents that are flowing within these large organizations. About 90% of the unstructured data that's rolling through these companies happens to be in documents, in spreadsheets. So we've developed a solution that we call Unity Central that allows a company to be able to understand what's happening with regard to all of the documents, emails, text messages that are coming into the organization. The supply chain is a very interesting place to focus this technology. Our first major customer for the Unity Central product is Meta. Meta is selling these virtual reality goggles. They're selling a bunch of other products as they kind of continue to change their organization and really move to more of a consumer products company besides all of the data that they have. And they really needed a solution with regard to supply chain. Fascinating as they get a purchase order in from somebody like Amazon. There's about 25 documents that flow after a purchase order comes in, and not having visibility on what's happening with those documents can really have and wreak havoc within a supply chain. Our system that allows us to be able to capture that information, those documents, provide advanced notice to Meta on when things may go wrong, do predictive analytics to say, wow, we're getting all of this information in, we're reading this information into the Boardwalk system and into the Unity Central system. We predict that next Tuesday you're going to have a late delivery. That helps tremendously within the supply chain, and no one has been able to get to the point of absorbing these documents and then being able to predict when something is going to go wrong. So we're seeing a lot of value with this. We've got other companies that are signing up for this product, and we're pretty darn excited about the future of where this is going to take Boardwalk. Our revenue model is that we're an annual SaaS license company, a right to access. Our pricing starts at about $100,000 per year, again on a recurring basis, and can go all the way up to $1 million plus. We have several contracts that are over $1 million. We're focused on obtaining new customers in our target markets that I just walked you through and building ARR. CFO laughs at me because I tell him that every morning I wake up and all I think about is ARR. We also, once we get a customer, like an Estee Lauder as an example, we do this process called land and expand, because once we solve a problem for them by transforming some of their spreadsheets or working with them on a Unity Central solution, there's a lot of additional business there that can be captured and a lot of additional value that we can bring. Our sales model is twofold. We have a direct sales team that focuses on the enterprise digital data management transformation platform and a direct sales team focused on the supply chain management for Unity Central. On the Velocity product with financial services, we decided to use a channel strategy there. We have now signed a number of what we call teaming agreements with companies that provide services, professional services and consulting into these large banks. And instead of us going to the large banks, we decided let's go and work with these partners who have already got an established relationship. They might already have 5 or 10,000 people that are working with these companies, and we basically now partner with them. We signed a direct license agreement with the bank, but the partner actually does the delivery service and the professional service, which is what they want and the value that they provide in the marketplace. So we're quite enthusiastic about the partnerships that we're building, these teaming agreements that we're putting together as we continue to work our way into these banks. By the way, there's about 4,300 banks in the US between large and community banks that we believe is a really good target. Let me walk you through a couple of use cases that I think will help also explain our solution. On the Boardwalk Digital Ledger, we have a semiconductor company called onsemi out of Arizona, and they asked us to help them with their manual quote management process. So they get about 25 RFP, RFQs in a day. Those RFP, RFQs can be pretty big and big, hairy spreadsheets that come in. And effectively, we set up a system on our digital ledger platform where we absorb those spreadsheets. It goes through a process where people are automatically notified to be able to answer questions about their particular part of the process. And effectively, what used to take them 7 days to turn around a response to an RFP or an RFQ now takes 2 days. So imagine if you're getting 25 of these in a day and you're trying to email these spreadsheets around. Now all of a sudden you put it onto the Boardwalk Digital Ledger platform. You can actually turn a quote around in 2 days. You can have the history of what you've quoted them. It's actually now delivering an increased sales conversion, because the faster you can turn around information to a potential client, the faster they'll make the decision to actually buy. And the ROI on this has been pretty substantial and great customer and a great use case for onsemi. What used to be all these manual spreadsheets coming in and a manual email of answer this question, figure out this number, when you automate it on our platform, we reduce the time, allow you to get to a faster decision, great ROI, great customer and onsemi. Estee Lauder, I talked about before. They're the big cosmetics company in New York. Pretty exciting relationship for us. We started with them on a first application, which was around labeling and managing all of the controls that they have to have with regard to labeling. That process started out, that application, at about $90,000 or $100,000 per year. We now, 19, 20 months later, have got 4 applications up and running, another 3 or 4 in the pipeline, where we're driving $300,000 to $400,000 of ARR by landing and expanding the digital ledger platform across Estee Lauder and solving real world problems for them, where they used to manage this data manually in Excel, and they're now managing it on the digital ledger platform, allowing them to get to decisions faster, allowing them to really be able to understand the data and being able to get product onto the market and onto the shelf faster. The last use case I'll talk about is Meta. This is again quite an exciting opportunity for us. Being able to work with a Fortune 50 company within their supply chain, and again, pretty simple. Meta gets in about 200 or about 500 purchase orders a month. These purchase orders can be very big. There's a lot of line items on them. As these purchase orders are coming in for particular products like these visual reality goggles, that then kicks off a whole process that says, I got an order, I now need to put it into my system, and now I want to fill that order. Okay, and so there's a particular timeline that it takes them to fill that order. And interestingly enough, from the time that they get the purchase order until they fill the order, there's about 25 documents that flow in. There's advanced ship notices. There's documents that come in around all kinds of things with regard to customs. There's all kinds of transportation documents and stuff that comes in. And as these documents come in, they're coming in by email, they're coming in through all kinds of other methods. And maybe it comes into an email that says, hey, the delivery is going to be late, but only one person sees it. And there needs to be like 20 people in the process that says, hey, wait a minute, if this delivery's late, we got a problem in our warehouse, we got a problem with distribution, we got a problem here. And when that order is late, they then may not deliver the order on time to the customer, that can then cause all kinds of problems around penalties or missed revenue because they didn't deliver it on time. So the bottom line is that the Unity Central product that we've set up allows us to capture not only the original order that's coming in, but all of the subsequent documents and signals. We aggregate those into the Unity Central product and provide notification and alerts to Meta that says, hey, we think that this is going to go wrong, or hey, you've got a late order here, somebody needs to go take care of this. And what that does is that helps Meta move to what they call a perfect order environment. Their goal is, I get an order, I deliver it perfectly, and therefore that's the thing that we're working on with Meta. Great ROI, terrific customer, really exciting. So our roadmap for growth is, we have this thing called our 50-50-50 plan. We think in the digital transformation business, in the financial services business, and in the supply chain business, that the markets are so big that we can get to $50 million of ARR over the next few years in each three of these areas that we're focusing on. We're continuing to expand our partner model, and we're really leveraging off of our unique technology with a real focus on ARR. So this is our kind of historical financials here. I'll give you a little bit more detail on this if you want to go one-on-one, or if you want to ask questions, but we're just now starting to push the $6 million ARR number, and we're driving toward profitability, hopefully in the near future. Capital structure, pretty simple, and we have no debt on the balance sheet. So why invest in Boardwalk? SaaS model, high retention, really great customers, technology that is unbeatable and very unique in the marketplace. We've got recurring revenue that's growing at 45% CAGR over the past 3 years, a great pipeline. Our solution is sticky. We've got this land and expand strategy, so once we get into a company, we can actually start to grow. There's a tremendous amount of revenue upside. The issue with this unstructured data and structured data and no one managing it, and the way that the data is just doubling every 2 years, somebody needs to get into the middle of this and really take care of it, and Boardwalk is a company that's going to do that. Our financial highlights this year through kind of Q1, we're a March 31 year end. So we've got our Q1 that's reported out there. Recurring SaaS revenue up 23% year over year. And again, our ARR 5.8 million and growing, debt free, solid balance sheet, tight capital structure, super experienced management team. Happy to take questions. So the first question here, thank you, Craig, is you signed a couple of new partnership agreements in the last months. What level of activity is likely from these partnerships? Great question. We are, these partnerships are mainly in the velocity financial services area. We're now training a lot of the partner people to be able to deploy. We have a whole training system that's now in certification program that is in place, and we continue to drive these partners. And we're not only training them to be able to deliver the product, but we're also working with their salespeople to be able to understand where to enter into a bank, where these spreadsheet or EUC applications are, and really working hard to try and make sure that we leverage these partners as much as we can. Look, the reality is that if I walked into first of all, I can't get to the CFO or the head of compliance at Bank of America as a little company in Silicon Valley. It's really hard to do that. But if I leverage a partner who's already got a relationship, and that bank is looking for a solution for these end user computing environments because they're starting to get pressured by the regulators to solve the problem, they're going to go to one of those partners and say, help me. And then we want those partners to then come to us and say, we just got contacted by X bank, and we need your help now. We've got a great opportunity here. Win for them, win for us, win for the bank. We think that the market is actually unlimited with regard to this. And I will tell you, our technology is better than anything that's out there. Next question, what is stopping someone like Microsoft from developing their own solution? That's a really long answer. The net is Microsoft is very focused on what we would call desktop tools. They are not focused on the type of data and providing solutions like supply chain solutions or compliance solutions that that Boardwalk is really focused on. It truly is in a different place. Should Microsoft be excited about what we're doing? Heck yeah. Should they be closer to us? Heck yeah. And that's really up to them. Next question, how long does it usually take between first contact with a potential customer and signing? So Adrian, we have, as you know, a direct sales team where we're going after the enterprise for both the digital transformation on spreadsheets and the supply chain solution. And normally those sales cycles will take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, depending upon the company itself. Lots of these companies are IT centric, so you got to get through IT before you can even get to the business. Or if they're business centric, you got to get to the business and then they flip you over to IT. So the short answer is 4 to 6 months. The banks are taking a little bit longer as this is kind of a new thing that they're having to deal with regard to the regulatory environment. And I would say that those are kind of 9 to 12 month sales cycles. Okay, we've got time for 2 more questions. Matt is asking, I'm surprised that there have been so few contract announcements here today. Can you provide an update? Good question. Look, we are signing new business. We are landing and expanding. And just me as a philosophy, I don't want to put a bunch of fluff out there into the market just because investors want to see some news release. We're growing the company. You will see announcements that will come out soon with regard to some larger opportunities that we've got contracts out on and that we're closing. I'm not going to send out press releases for singles and doubles, and you just need to know that that's going on. And if you guys need validation on that, just give me or our CFO Charlie a call, and we can certainly walk you through that stuff. Can you elaborate? Last question, guys. Can you elaborate on the $100 million prospects in the financial sector when you've presented presently about 2 million as we speak? This market is going to be driven a lot by the continued pressure by the compliance folks, especially in the United States. The banks have got a full plate of things to do, but we're seeing increased regulatory push from the regulators, and we think that this is really going to be a market that over the next couple of years opens up. And I think it's very reasonable to think that we could get dozens of new banks over the next few years adopting the Velocity product. So my time is up. I'm happy to do one-on-ones. I'm happy to take calls at any time. And I'd like to thank you very much for allowing me to present.